Hello everyone, my name is Gabriel from Tech Help Canada. Today I'm going to be showing you how to create good content for your website. Let's get to it. All right, so now first before we dive into it, I just wanted to talk about real quickly about what we mean by when we say content. For some of you that are new to this, if we just say content, it could be a little confusing. Well, content on the web anyways, website content is essentially anything that the user can see on your page. So whether it's text, whether it's video, whether it's infographics, whatever you create, whether it's an article, this is all content. It's all part of your content base on your website. Excuse me. All right. So now, one thing we do know is that 16% of all the people who visit your website will ever read your content. Now, when we're talking about, right now we're referring to text on the page, right? So text on the page, only about 16% will read it, okay? Which is why it's so important that we discuss content creation and just writing good content anyways, and why it's so important. Because if your content's not to speed, a lot of people will either scroll all the way down to the bottom and leave your page, right? So now, I mean, what does this mean? I mean, it means, of course, 16 of every 100 people, that come to your website, 16 of them are not, 16 of them are going to read it. 100 out of that 100. So you're missing out a lot if you don't have good content. Now, that number, you can fix that. We can fix that number. And just real quickly, like I said, a lot of them are going to skim for a paragraph or two and then they'll leave, right? So if you don't grab their attention in the first paragraph, it's not going to work out. They're going to leave. Now, but real quickly, I'm just going to talk about how do you grab the attention of the user in your first paragraph. Well, you need to meet what I like to call the sweet spot, right? So you tell the user exactly what the user is looking for, and then you tell the user what you want the user to know. I'll give you a quick example. In this video, I said, my name is Gabriel, I'm from Tech Help Canada, and then right away I said, I'm going to teach you how to write good website content, right? So either you tell the user first or you tell them second, doesn't matter. As long as they get it within that first paragraph, what you're going to do for them, right? Now, it's always better to tell them first. Now, but because this is a video, it's always a good idea to introduce yourself first before you continue talking to your audience. So we can fix that. So we're going to show you how. All right. So one way you can fix this, guys, is just write like you speak. So think back to, when you ever met someone and the first thing you notice about them is that they just keep talking about themselves. Did that make you want to talk to them longer? Well, probably not. If you're like most people, you're probably like, wow, I'm not even able to have a conversation with this person, so I am out of here the first chance I get. Or you make some excuse and you leave the area, whatever it is you have to do just to get out. Because at the end of the day, this person that that person that you're talking to, they have no interest in getting to know you. They just want you to know so much about them. And that's a bad first impression, right? So same thing applies here, guys. When you're writing content on your website, you need to make sure that your audience is involved, right? But we're going to talk about that a little bit more. But when you write like you speak, that involves your audience. Now, like, it goes a long way in involving your audience. And when I say your audience, I'm not talking about everyone as a whole. When someone lands on your page, you need them to understand that, hey, I'm talking to you. This is about you. They need to be able to feel that this is about them. If they don't feel that this is about them, they're probably going to leave the page after a few paragraphs. Again, make it about the reader. That's number 2 on our list. So number 1, write like you speak. Number 2, make it about the reader. We just touched base on that. Sorry, we just touched base on that. Sorry. Okay, so number 3 is use the word you more. All right, so when you use this word you, it's powerful. Now, it's not manipulative, okay? Remember that if you were conversating with a friend, you're going to use the word you more, right? You are. I mean, that's natural conversation when you're speaking to people. You know, do you want this? Do you want that? Do you want to go to the bar? Do you want to go to the pub today instead? Do you want to hit up the club later? You're going to use you a lot. So it's natural that you should use you on your website, because websites have evolved from this thing where people go to and get a lot of information, a lot of really generalized information, to this thing that people go to and they're more, in a sense, intimate with, in terms of it is more personal now. And because websites are now more personal, your content has to be more personal. So right here, you know, when someone visits your webpage, it's your job to make sure that they feel you are addressing them. Goes back to the personalization. So the next thing you want to do once you do that is you need to build trust with your readers. Okay? So you need to build trust with your readers. Now, how do you do that? Okay? Now, that can be a tricky part, right? Because sometimes when we say build trust, where, you know, we could just go overboard. But I'm here to tell you that building trust doesn't take much. Like, it's not a lot of work to do, because once you've written good content, building trust, the trust already is coming from your good content. But there are certain things that you can also do to help build trust with your readers a lot faster. One of them is, when you're writing, make sure you show and you tell them, right? So show and tell, right? You know, so if you make a bold claim, back your words up with proof. Now, a simple way to do this is, if you wrote an article and in that article there was a bold claim, like, I'll give you an example. When we said earlier, when I said only 16% of people that show up to your page will ever read all your content, right? And the rest will just leave. Well, I gave you the proof. You can look up the Nielsen Norman Group, and they actually have that study. So the study was conducted, and they found that 16% of people will read content, right? Which means that as a marketer, or as an entrepreneur, or as a website owner, or a business owner, whatever you're doing right now, you need to ensure that your content is better than the norm out there. It's more personal. When it's more personal, people stick around. So, of course, good way to build trust with your readers is always remember your reputation. And for this one, we're just gonna see what Warren Buffett said about this, and it makes total sense. It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. If you think about that, you'll do things differently. Enough said. There's not much to be said there. I'm pretty sure we all get it. Has anyone said anything good about you in the past, right? So I'm just going to move back on the slide here. I think my computer's bogging down today for some reason. There we go. So of course, include testimonials. And so if anyone has said anything good about you, make sure it's true, of course. Like I like to include testimonials from, you know, Google reviews. I just copy it and then I put it on the website's page. So if someone came to the page and they wanted to look up the testimonial, they'll easily find it on Google or whatever website that the testimonial was in. Now, if your customer just gave you a testimonial through email, that's fine too. A good thing to do is to make a screenshot of that email and then just blank out your customer's email address, of course, and then put that on the page. And that's a good way to build trust too. Now, testimonials really don't apply too much to articles or blog posts or anything like that. But it does apply to website content, like if you were selling sneakers or you were selling, let's say you were selling a professional service, maybe you're a plumber and you wanted to ensure that people could see testimonials of work that you've done before. Great. Now, testimonials are not mandatory, especially when you're just starting out. When you're just starting out, you just need to get business. So just using the previous tips is enough to get clients coming your way and actually filling out your contact form, or at least taking note of your email address or emailing you directly from their computer. Okay, so none of everything I just said matters unless you can actually rank your content well in search engines, right? Now, that's not to say that your traffic has to completely come from search engines, because that's not a good idea. You want maybe 50% search engines and then 50% everything else. That includes social media, whatever marketing campaigns you have, whatever real world marketing campaigns you have. If digital marketing is your main marketing stream, your main marketing platform, then by all means, digital marketing it is, but ensure that your traffic is not completely just based off of search engines, because you can't control what happens. For 6 months you could be on page 1, and then 6 months later you could be on page 2, right? Unless you have an active SEO team or you outsource to SEO experts, which you can outsource that work to us too. We do SEO for clients. Sorry about that. We do SEO for clients, so you can, I don't know if you guys heard that noise, but something just came to my screen. But we do SEO for clients, so by all means you can outsource that work to us, and we also help customers with content creation as well. So by all means we can do that for you too. But that being said, none of all that matters if you can't rank well in search engines, or if you can't get traffic to your content. If people are not reading your content, then all that stuff doesn't matter, right? It's like if you made a video and no one sees the video, then all the video doesn't matter, right? So how do you rank well in search engines? Well, one, you got to keep readers on your page, okay? On your page, you need to keep readers on it. Now, this all goes back a little bit to what we previously talked about personalizing your content, ensuring that you're addressing the user and you're making them feel more involved with the process. And it just says here, show the visitor that you can solve their problem or answer their questions first to keep them reading. That's right. It's essentially what we kind of touched base on that. So you have to meet that sweet spot. First paragraph, you tell the user exactly what you're going to get from it. Second paragraph, you tell them exactly what you want them to know. That could be, I have an ebook that I'm selling. That could be, we got this brand new Snickers that we're selling. Whatever the case may be, you tell them on that first paragraph that whatever you want them to know. And that's the sweet spot. Of course, you want to use pictures and videos wherever possible. Video content, from my experience, if you have a blog post, for example, or you posted an article, or you have a website and you're using video content, using video content from that is not your company's content has less of an impact in search engines than when you actually use your own company content, right? So, for example, if I went to YouTube and I used some random video, it's going to have less of a boost to my content in terms of the search engines, how the search engines see it. Now, it may be a good thing for the user, but search engines don't see it that way. They just see it as, oh, they're linking to this video. But if you use a video that is, especially if it's hosted by you and it's on your web page, right? And it's hosted by you, it's not hosted by YouTube or anything like that, you get a better boost in search engines. This has been my experience. Now, it's again with all things SEO, it's very hard to be definite in something unless you've done it so many times. And from what I've done so many times with videos, testing videos to try to boost people's content, I found that if you host your own videos, you get a better boost on your content. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't get a boost if you use somebody else's YouTube video. If it complements your content, it still will boost your content. Pictures, 100%. If you have pictures on your website, and make sure that you have an alt tag. If you have any questions about what a alt tag is, alternative text is, then just shoot me a question real quick and I'll answer it for you. But I'm pretty sure most of us might know what this is already. So make sure you have that included in the video, with the picture, and you will get a boost. But it's not just about search engines, though, right? Pictures help people stay on your page, right? Videos help people stay on your page. Right there, visual aids can make your content easier to digest. So we should always use them. But just so you're aware, it will boost your SEO. Okay, so include relevant keywords. That's number 3. Include keywords that matter to you, but more importantly is keywords that really explain that page, right? So if, for example, we wrote this guide and we published it in more detail in our blog, and in order for us to, on the title, we made sure that we put website content guide, right? That way it completely explains what this page is all about. So whoever is looking for that, when they find this page, that is what they're going to get. It's going to solve that problem that they are looking to solve, right? So keywords are very important. If you want to learn a little bit more, you want to learn a little bit more about how to find keywords, I do talk about it on the actual blog post. So I'm going to leave the link at the end of this. I'm going to leave the link for that at the end of this video, or also, and also in the comments probably, or maybe just in the comments, so you guys can click on that. Okay. So just to quick recap, keywords are important. So use them if you want people to find your stuff, right? No one's going to find your stuff if you don't have the right keywords that they are looking for. But now don't keyword stuff. I mean, don't put a whole bunch of keywords in there and say, oh, content creation, website content guide. No. You just be very direct. Website content guide, or how to create better website content. Be direct with it, right? Yeah, your keyword has to be in your title the title of your page, and then it should show up in your description somewhere. I know that a lot of SEOs say, oh, descriptions don't matter for rankings, but I have some evidence that they do matter for rankings, because if they didn't matter, then think about it. Google wouldn't be highlighting the keyword in the description. That by highlighting that means the artificial intelligence or was able to actually see that, okay, it's on the title, it's on the description, and then you want to make sure that you put your keyword on the body of the page as well. Those are very important. But again, for more of that, just head on to the website and read the complete blog post. Finally, promote your work. Okay? I love this picture. I just had to put it in there. But yeah, promote your work. Okay? If you don't, again, it goes back to what we said. If you have no eyes on your page, if you're not catching eyeballs and people are not reading your content, then it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter whether you have the best content in the world. No one reads it, then nothing is going to happen, right? Nothing's going to happen, right? Nothing will happen if no one reads your stuff. If no one comes to your website, nothing will happen. So, for example, if you have a website, your goal should be to grow your traffic every month. Not grow your, grow your traffic. Like, focus on the outcome, not the output. Like, yes, you want to build backlinks to your content, for example. So, to promote your work, you want to build backlinks to your content if you wanted to rank well in search engines, right? So you need to do outreach for that. So one way to do outreach is reach out to bloggers through Twitter. And when you reach out to them through Twitter, you show them your content. First, of course, say hi, how you doing? Don't be rude. And tell them you just want to, get their feedback. You give it to them. If they come back with a feedback of, wow, I love this. This is awesome, man. Great job. Then you turn around and you say, hey, man, glad that you loved it. Would love to get it mentioned on your website, or would love to get it mentioned on your webpage. You can even go find a page that is relevant to that. Like, find a blog post that this person has written that is relevant to what you've written, and then just tell them, hey, listen, I would love to get it mentioned on your page here. I think it's going to add value to your page. And chances are they're going to say yes because they've already read that content and they already like it. Of course they're going to say yes. Now, they should say yes. Now, if they don't say yes, well, then that's okay too. You can't please everybody. But at least you still got them to read your content. So that doesn't necessarily mean that in the future they wouldn't reference your content. Because remember, guys, once someone goes to your website, since moving on in 2017, actually it started all the way back in 2015, I believe, but 2017 definitely with Google's AI first approach to search, and a lot of other search engines doing the same thing or moving towards the same thing. Well, anytime someone lands on your page, if they're using the Chrome browser, which a lot of people use the Chrome browser, well, guess what? Google now knows that that person has been on that website, has interacted with your content. Now, what does that mean? It means that if that person is searching for, let's say, that person is searching for your website content guide, for example, right? I'm just using that as an example because that's what we're doing. So let's say they're searching for website content guide. Guess what? You're going to come up. So chances are, if that person is writing, let's say they're a blogger, remember that. So if they're writing content, they're looking for a reference to something that will prove their point, and then your website content guide shows up, they're probably more shows up on the first page, they're more likely going to click on your stuff because they remember your domain name, and they're more likely going to link to you. So just remember, the goal is to get as many eyes on your content. It's not necessary to ask for backlinks, right? It doesn't matter whether it's a do follow or no follow backlinks. It doesn't really matter. As long as you get eyeballs on your content will get more people. Like, more people will link to it naturally, and all that stuff will happen, right? So that's why social media is important. Make sure you're marketing through social media. That's very important because market through social media. And I'm not saying pay for it. You don't have to pay for it, guys. Just share your stuff all the time. Share your stuff. Don't be annoying, but share your stuff. Maybe every 10 hours, share your stuff. And especially on Twitter, more people will look at it, more people will read it, more people will retweet it, etc. And all that adds up. Those are more people that are seeing your content, and more people that are more likely to see your content when they're searching for stuff on search engines. Okay. All right, so this quote says it all by P.T. Barnum. I hope I pronounced that right. But without promotion, something terrible happens. Nothing. So nothing matters if you don't promote. In fact, make sure you do a awesome. Now, this thing, don't promote content that is not awesome. When you're doing promotion, if your content is not very awesome, very good, or just very good at solving the user's problem, right? Then chances are no one's gonna want to share it, right? You'll still get eyeballs on it, but no one might want to share it, right? Now, it doesn't have to be crazy, like I hear some people say 10x content, all that stuff. It doesn't have to be that. As long as it solved that problem well, whatever the problem is that the user is looking for, it solved it. They didn't have to click the back button and go search something else, or they didn't have to close the page and go look for something else. And if they close the page, it works in your favor because then Google stops tracking it, right? But if they click the back button and they keep searching and keep researching, then chances are your page has not solved their problem. So they have to keep looking for the answer to that problem. All right. So you want to learn how to wrap it up like a boss? Well, pulling a page out of Rick Ross's book here. but yeah. Just go to that link there, and you can read the full article. Okay, I'll just wait for you guys to copy it down, or you can pause the video and just copy it down. Okay, and that is it. So thank you for listening. Again, if you have any questions, just let me know. I will answer them for you. I'm going to try to be doing these videos more often. Trying to give as much back to you guys, especially, we've come a long way, Tech Help Canada, since we started in 2014. And it's all thanks to everyone that listens to our video or reads our content, signs up to our email list. It's all thanks to you guys. So thank you very much. And I hope to see you. Check out techhelp.ca, see what we got to offer. Maybe we can help you out. Take care. Bye.